Ready for another flight? Let's look at the market again. After the previous one, we had a massive hit in our previous session after the second attempt. Now we are looking at again after this gap, there was a pullback during this period, and the market again potentially bouncing back to the upside. Looking at potential entry opportunity, and just would like to see that everything being broadcasted. Is there any, see there is a desktop sound here, so you guys can hear me and all the stream, the sound and all things going well? Can you say yes if you can hear me and see me? And we are ready for another trade setup here for this session. For the, if you look at, we are on the second session of the first day of the trading week. Welcome. And here is, if you look at after the previous session successful entry, we can see that there is, the market is again creating another bullish move back to the upside here in that market. So if you look at, currently the price is trending, and I am looking at potentially another entry opportunity here. There is a stronger breakout that you can see from this support level. Welcome, and make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, starting with this session. And looking at potential trading opportunity in this area. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, there is a intraday support here that if you look at, and from this 4-hour support, the market open, if you look at this session, the candle open with, as soon as this sessions, the market open here on gold, there is a stronger bounce back to the upside. So as we discuss in our also the weekly analysis, gold currently showing possible bullish move on the lower time frame. Now the question comes in that, is this just a short-term bounce, or you could see a change of trend here? This is what we will be figuring out in this live session here, and based on that we will be looking at entry. So I'm looking at the weekly market structure here, guys. As if you look at the weekly market structure, the first day of trading week is very important. The first day is where I open most of the trade. Likes everyone, if you, thank you very much for your call, and make sure guys you like, because when you like, it goes to more users to look at. So this is a 2-second pause so that everyone smash the like button. Awesome. So now here is the weekly low that we can see that today's weekly low started here, and this is the weekly high, today's high. So it's the first day of trading week. It's a small narrow range here that you can see, but the possibility here that as the market is having a rejection from this level, and that rejection might potentially bounce back to the upside here. So therefore this is the 4-hour support that you can see the market opened in that level from the intraday, and with this 4-hour entry there is a sharp breakout here in that market. So looking at the lower time frame here, now the market is bullish. Are you guys looking at entry? If we look at the previous session, we had that move from this level. It was a big bounce back to the upside. Market made its move strongly upside, and we will be doing the full analysis on the trade here. And that's a very important point, as if you look at the past trade also, it's gonna give you a better understanding of the future entries that is coming along the way. So looking at now, if you look at the 1 minute, here's the current support that the market managed to break to the upside. So if you look at the 1-hour price action, and first 30 minutes, if you look at this candle, has shown bullish impulse. There was a previous session from this support level. If you look at, there was a breakout, pullback, another breakout. On a pullback, the market may have potentially another break to the upside here. So the bias here is still bullish in that market, because it's a currently with the new opening, we saw there was a bounce back to the upside here in that market. So if you look at the 15 minutes, and you are dropping down to the lower time frame for an entry opportunity here. So the price action that you can see, the price pull back to that 4063, and we can see the market again showing, the buyers are showing the interest for bouncing back to the upside here in that market. So that being said, I'm looking at now very lower time frame for an entry. So we will be, as usual, we will be looking at entry on the 1 minute chart. All right. So with a tight stop loss, bigger profit target, what's your strategy? You can share in the live chat. Do you use high win rate or high risk reward strategy? High risk reward strategy will give you, if you do the risk management, that is very important. If you do the risk management, it's gonna give you better opportunity to remain profitable over the long term. So here is, if you look at, this is the previous support that we have seen. Some of the levels the market respected and bounced off that. Now it's now here, if you look at this 1 minute price action, it is currently with this bounce pullback, the market now maintaining this uptrend here. And when it is maintaining that uptrend, a very interesting fact that you can see, it is creating series of higher high and higher low. So which is 1 wave, 2 wave, and the 3 waves. So it has already completed 3 waves here. So we might see a potentially deeper pullback to that intraday support. And that is where we want to find an entry after a break of structure here. This is a 15 minutes price action. Also, you can see that it's showing that there is a possibility for an upside bias here in that market. There is a possibility for a bullish bias in this market. So lower time frame price action, if you look at quite a few long week candlestick pattern here from the 1 minute chart, a big doji followed by another doji. So with those quite a few long week price action, that might drive that price back below for a pullback. And welcome everyone, likes, thank you very much. Okay, so here is the market. Once it shows stronger bullish confirmation, we can look at entry, because this market now promisingly showing that potentially bullish price action. Are you bullish on gold or bearish? So I would like to start with a pull. Like, pull really helps. You guys see that in the past. So what's your bias on gold today? See, your bias could be different then, so you can share your thought on this pull. Now, the way the market structure is forming on this lower time frame, if you look at this 1 minute price action, it's showing that there is a possibility for a complete breakout here. There's a possibility for a complete breakout, and we might see that the market to potentially trend back to the upside, and that's what we can see. The price action is showing potential bullish trend. So 15 minutes, this is currently the previous resistance, turn support, also the 10 EMA. And for us to get an entry here, I'd like to see the market is doing enough pullback, and the bullish trend is possibility to continue, because this is what the market is on this now. And there's a 5 minutes bullish engulfer formation here as well. So this zone currently that we can see is a high demand area here, right? So looking at that level could be a high demand area if the market comes to retest in a proper way, because already the market shows, the bulls shows the interest from that. Now you might see the price to potentially break that low below, and then we can place a pending order above this high here. If the market returned back for another bounce, we will be looking at entry for this move back to the upside. Are you guys getting my point? So basically, what do you want to see here? The market to return back below, so that we have a room here for a pending order above this high. And if the market reject back above for this imbalance to the upside, we can take a bullish trade as above this level here is nearly to 70 pip or above. There is an imbalance here in the market. If the bulls are stronger, it might still can strongly go back to the upside, depending on how the market structure is creating. So if you look at the lower time frame, you can see the market is showing up that bullish move here in that area, so which is a sign of potentially upside bias. So you can see the price is slowly creating a momentum back to the upside. So we are looking at bullish setup, and the market is going up. So let's wait for a breakout structure. The patience is key, guys, here. Now the previous session, we had the first attempt didn't work, but the second attempt we saw that there was a stronger bounce back to the upside from that level that we have opened, and boom, that was a big move. The previous session, if you look at that, patient is key. Yes, absolutely. The previous session trade, if you look at this 5-minute chart, and I was getting some replay from the chat to look for sell. I know that it's confusing. Sometimes I also get confused, but always look at the overall trend in the market. And this is where, if you look at the entry, it was a tight stop loss, right? So which is, guys, you need to do it in the right way. So tight stop loss means that you need to keep the stop loss very precise, and then keep bigger win, risk smaller. So if your account size is bigger, the bigger the account size, the smaller the risk size. That's how it works. And for the smaller account, even not more than 1%, and then trade it every trade with the direction of the trend. So as long as you are correct in your directional bias, what all you need is a strategy, right, to confirm the price action. Now you can see this market now showing bullish bias, right? So you're not gonna sell here. So as long as you know that it's a bullish bias, so you're not gonna sell. Therefore, whenever the market will come to your zone, you can go for bullish based on supply and demand strategy, or any price action strategy that you can apply for you to enter into the trade. So for example, this is our current level here, that looking at the market to break that low. So if you look at the market is coming back below here, that's where we are looking at rejection back again. So how the market will be breaking your support also important, because when you see that the market coming with a bigger ATR candle, big breakdown, that's a high probability setup. So this is the 1 minute price action. The market is approaching this key level that you can see. We might be able to find a possible entry opportunity. I'm looking at this level to see how the price action is reacting to that. So this is the nearest order block here. Okay, so we might find an entry opportunity here. So this is where the market now approaching this important area of value. So that's where I'm looking at potential entry after the price action confirmation. This is very important that always remain passionate about trading. So here is the price is there is a local break of support here that you can see. The market is penetrating back below to this support level, and looking at this so the market getting it has broken this support and getting some reaction back above. So if there is a volatility in the market, as I mentioned, this is a very important week as the last week of the month, and expecting that increase more. And if the volatility is higher, we might see the market straight going back again in the major direction of the trend. And so there is a rejection from this lower price here. Might get interested on opening position after the price significantly reject from this lower level. So I will be using a pending order here for a potential buy in this market for this move back to the upside here. We'll be keeping the stop loss below this low. So it's going to be not a market order, it's a pending order. You'll be using a buy stop order here for this potential move and expecting it to go back to the current resistance line. So it's a buy stop at 4069.45. So it's basically now became a market order. So I'm long on gold. Awesome. That started to move again. That is cool. Targeting 4076.40, even we can extend beyond. If the market shows enough confirmation for another bounce back to the upside, you can see the market is maintaining potentially a bullish market structure here in that market. So looking forward to see the market going back to hit the current level of resistance, unless it gets very hungry for a deeper liquidity gap, which also sometimes happens. But what I'm looking at, guys, here, that the market to potentially maintain this uptrend here. So if you look at, there is a significantly bullish price action has formed, and once the market managed to break to the upside of this local resistance that you can see, this is a key level on the lower time frame, not higher time frame, we should find some imbalance here, and that's what we have placed the trade, because this, if the market managed to break above here, this is an imbalance in the market, should be bouncing off and cross this high, and that's what we are looking to get into the entry here. And I hope that, guys, you are enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream. Did you like? We do here the real trading. The real trading is when you do the risk management and not let the market dictates your trade, but you have full control over your trading account by doing the risk management. Are you with me? Say yes and then smash the like button. I see that likes is 1/8 of the view. So that means if you don't like, you can smash the dislike button, but smash one of them. Thank you. You do that? Thank you. Awesome. Now, here is the market. If you look at, okay, so it's creating a double top. Okay, want to see that it's breaking back to the upside. That's what I'm looking at. If there is a multiple liquidity sweep here, so there is a possibility of breaking back to the upside here in that market. And this is what I was, if you look at in the beginning of the session, I would highly encourage you to go back to the live session sometime to understand. And I have drawn a box here, if you remember, and that's the zone that I was looking at for the entry, and the market dropped to that and getting to that back to the upside here. So let's wait to see where it is heading to. And there is a possibility for breaking that high, unless they need more liquidity. Let's go. Okay, so the previous session we had a big one. If you guys look at now, this one also I would like to catch potentially as much as you can. The only thing that you need to make sure you're not risking more than 1% if the account is a small or medium. And if your account is, let's say, 100K or 50K, then don't risk more than 0.25% per trade. Keep a big win rate. That means bigger profit target. You don't have to have a very big win rate. As long as you keep the risk low and you win more than you lose, you're good to go. Where do you go? Welcome. And what's your trading objective? You can share your thought here. What is your trading objective? What do you want to become by becoming a trader? Share your thought here. That's really fun to know that. What do you want to become by becoming a trader? Like, what do you want to do? Financial freedom. Well done. Anyone else different? This is a very foundational. Very good. And here is moving and we are 20 pip up. We want to become profitable. Okay, so everyone want to become profitable. That's very good. Work on my own. Okay, so that's a very good. That means freedom of choice. Okay, so basically here is some rejection coming from the top. So is there any candle close coming? 15 minutes closed and awesome. Good to hear that, guys. Make money, my pips per day. Yeah, that's a very good one. We see there's a liquidity sweep here. Very good to hear that. At least to go 100 pip a day, make money on my. Look, there's a very important point, okay? Don't always focus on pip. So there is a breakup structure here. Might take us out of the trade. You're not sure, but there might be. Expecting it to get back up. Okay. It's getting rejection here, which is good. Which is good to see that there is a breakup structure. Can you make $500 per day with 20K account? So you guys have seen that the strategy that I'm trading in live. All right. So we had consistent growth of some week has 15%, some week 8%, some week 10%. So if you do it on average, let's say weekly 5%, even the lowest or smallest, then on average 20K account, $200 into $5,000. Yeah, you can. Why not? So the goal here, guys, keep in mind that there is one thing that many traders don't consider. Okay, let me tell you what it is, guys. This is gonna blow your mind. Never focus on 20K account right now. The compounding effect is huge. Even you can't imagine that if you can grow a trading account from even 10K, 20K, and then let it grow. So 1% of 20K is $200, right? But 1% of 100K is $1,000, right? So once your account is growing, right, that's gonna actually create an exponential growth of your account. And because if you use 20K and next week you made 5%, so which is now became 21K, and your results based on 21K, not on 20K, and next week you see that your account is not 22K, it's gonna be 22,500, right? So that's how. And then the week after, it's not gonna be 23K or 24K, it's gonna be 25K. Like, so there is a compounding effect that will exponentially grow your trading account. So it's not a linear, right? So if you look at here, it's not gonna grow like this. It's gonna grow like the trend, like this. First slow, and then go like this, like that, right? So that's why always focus on protecting your capital. That's the key. Risk is small, trade is small, win big, and then let the account grow. And that's why you see that the stop loss that I place, I think, I don't know how many of you place such a smaller stop loss. Even I know that I'm putting a very smaller stop loss. I might get a stopped out. You see 32, 33 pip, right? So I might get a stopped out. That's completely fine because I can take another trade and I can get all back again with the next setup. So I don't have to give it back 3%, 4% on one trade. Rather, I keep it small and then just don't let one or two losing trade your second decision or getting out of the strategy. Right? Always keep your strategy intact and then do the risk management and let your trading account to grow. And it's a long game, guys. It's not a one-day job. Right? So you need to think of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? Then, so if you are at the age of 40, you can plan to retire at 45, 50, isn't it? That's how it is. And very good to hear that, guys. You are passionate about trading. It's get passionate and make sure you also follow the live stream. Here is regularly we do, I come on live twice every single day to trade the market and also to discuss all the education as well as the trading psychology that will change the way you look at the market. If you want to also trade with me in the VIP live trading room, where I am also sharing every trade that I'm opening, and also there is an exclusive indicator that I'm using, as well as all the strategies available, all my system currently available for the premium members. Also, you can visit the website now, and if you really want to take your trading to the next level that you might be considering, we have few spots to take on before it get closed. So you can see the link below this video for the website, where I would highly encourage you to join a community that will give you a big advantage, because I know the cost of each mistake. When I begin my trading, there is no such mistake that I didn't make. I'll share some of them, might be able to helpful to you. That's where you start to learn and grow. You don't have to make the same mistake, and learn from the mistakes of others. 1% per trade with 20K would be 200. Yes. So 1% per trade for 20K would be $200. Yeah. So for a 20K account, you can trade on 1% or 0.5%. That's completely fine, depending on your RR. So if your risk reward is 3:1 or 5:1, then 0.5% or 1%, not more than 1%. That's how you can trade. But if you use even higher risk reward, you can use as big as possible risk reward and just drop your risk. Thanks for that, coach. Welcome. Interesting concept about growth. I heard of trader who grow his account from 100K to 2.9 million. Okay, in 6 months. Which market? Yeah, look, this is, you can grow even a 1K account okay, to 100k. There is this exponential growth as long as you are maintaining that risk management setup, which is very important. Okay, so that's what the key here to look at. Now you can see the market is showing up the stronger liquidity sweep. 100k to 2.9 million, it's not, I wouldn't say it's very big growth. So risk management is the most important. You guys see that the market is, in fact, I think we are in the right direction. Let's see, unless there is a stronger liquidity gap here. So if you look at the risk management, right? How do you navigate the risk management? This is the heart of successful traders' trading strategy. All right. So this is very, very important. And this is the heart of successful trader trading strategy is the risk management. What's the TP? The TP at 4076.40 and expecting it to break to the upside here. We don't have any high impact news, I think, today. Yeah. So which is good to see. Market is not being impacted by any news. So expecting to slower move back to the upside here. Last night, Asian market dropped and now it's back to the price around. Yes, this is what happened here that you can see. All right. So looking at, guys, this is where the most important part of trading, the risk management. How do you navigate the risk management? Let's understand that. Yeah, 2.9. I understand. Yeah, 2.9 million. Yeah, that's a very reasonable. I have started learning market structure. So this is what I was looking at. Now, if you look at like the risk management, very important point that came out too. All right. Now, the risk management is the heart of every trader's trading strategy. So the first step of risk, let me really, guys, I got surprised. Even I think the day before yesterday, I was mentoring one of students and he was asking that about the lot size. Okay, so he was asking that how come that lot size was different, and I was surprised, right? This is very important, guys. If you are not knowing, most traders think that lot size is fixed. Many traders, do you think that for each trade lot size is fixed? So can you give guidance to beginner? What shall we learn first? Okay, very good point. Okay, if you're a beginner, the first thing, the learning is foundation. All right, so that's why always the first learning process is the foundation, is how to read the peep. Okay, how to find the peep and trade on demo, another important. Secondly, the lot sizing. Okay, lot sizing is very, very important. And I'm really surprised with another thing is that most like if you are using the mobile phone for an entry in a trade, then you should use any kind of app or any kind of third party platform to calculate the lot size, which is must be to maintain your risk setup. Okay, so let's look at the point of fixed lot. Okay, most traders think that you should buy fixed lot, 0.1 lot, 0.2 lot, 0.01 lot, whatever, or maybe 1 lot, 10 lot. If you are trading fixed lot, then mostly you're not gonna be profitable. This is the first thing that you need to make sure. So then how do you consider the lot size? the lot size must be variable unless you are using any strategy that is based on the robot or based on different strategies such as the martingale or any other strategy. That's a different setup. Okay, but if you are trading like we are doing the real trading, then the lot size must be variable. Why? Because your risk per trade in terms of dollar has to be the same for each trade. So what do I mean by this? If you ask the 20k account, so in a 20k account, if you risk 1%, it will be $200. Now, regardless of your lot size, if you hit a stop loss, your trade should not be more than $200 in each trade. So then why it is important to be variable the lot size? Because to keep the risk $200, if your stop loss's gap is big, then your lot has to be smaller to make sure your risk is $200. If your stop loss gap is tight, then your lot size has to be bigger so that to make sure that your risk is $200. That's how you can keep your lot size in check. Some traders think that reducing the risk also not a good idea. Okay, because if you are trading, you need to probably you're trading always 0.1 lot or 0.01 lot, thinking that I'm trading small. Yeah, trading small is good, but also you need to make money, right? Otherwise you don't stay motivated. So that's why you have to be in the balancing point where you can grow your account and at the same time you're not over risking. So because of that reason, you guys see that for those who are using the system, that my strategy, it's now all my strategies, that's why it's so important. All my strategy now fully automated. Okay, so fully automated. You guys, many traders has a misunderstanding about the fully automated system. If you go to the smart money, they rarely trade manually. Now, fully automated means that the risk management is automated. That means each trade that my system will open with 1% risk, stop loss and the lot size automatically adjusted. The market has gone back to the upside, guys. We are celebrating this trade so far. 34p profit running while we are discussing. Okay, so for learning, if you are a beginner, then I'm not sure if you are in our academy or no. If you are in the academy, then the first step is go through the foundation course. So we have 2 layers of course. One is for the beginner, so A to Z trading course, and then foundation course, and then advanced. So don't go to the advanced, first learn the foundation. There is a breakout and I'm at it. I'm still looking at the market to go back up to give us the full potential TP hit here in that market. So there is a breakout, and this is a bullish market structure, and we're looking at to see the price to go back up to the upside to create a new higher high. So you're running the trade and almost nearly to hitting the profit target here. Right, so looking forward to see the market to go back up to potentially to the profit target hit here. I'm running this trade and also the previous trade also running in. If you look at, so the key here, if you look at this lower time frame market structure now moving back up. So I'm looking at also my TP at 4076. I didn't move the stop loss at entry yet, and I want to take potentially to the upside here as much as we can, because moving the stop loss sometime just take us out of the trade while the market is still potentially go back to the profit target here. So looking forward to see the market to go back up and hit that potential TP. Are you guys ready to celebrate that? If you are risk averse, really nice entry. Yes, you can move your stop loss at entry. It's up to you. I'm not doing anything yet because I normally try to take the full move possible, and or you can take the partial profit if you like. Here is the market in a level where there might be deeper pullback, but looking forward to see the market to reverse back again here. Come on, here is the 30 minutes price action. 1 hour candle close here on from the 1 hour perspective, and the market now pushing down for a pullback. 4 hour perspective here. So the market more often try to reverse back. This is sometimes cause very the trading is emotionally very difficult for some, because it's the market just now profit and then return. That's how the market does. You see, the best trader are those who are able to maintain that emotional resilience as a trader. And that's fine, because being a trader means that you have to accept some losing trades to gain more winning trades. So that's a support break now. Now, from this level, if the market goes up, we can look at the price again bouncing back to the resistance line. And let it happen. Okay, so because the market has penetrated this support, once the market managed to break out from here, if does, that is what we are looking at the market to go back up to create a new higher high. Market structure is still showing to be bullish, so I'm still hopeful for the bounce. Except in the last moment there is a rejection. Just came to grab more liquidity. It's a liquidity grab. So liquidity grab, and if you look at the 1 hour price section, unusual drop is still on the trade, but there might be further break. So bigger win comes with this cost. Now here is the move that you can see. So there is a complete break of this high, and looking to see that where the market is heading. This is the 1 hour pricing. Let's delete all those levels and look for a fresh perspective in the market. And we see there is a breakup structure from the 4 hour. The market is coming to this 4 hour support. It's a bull market, so there is a possibility here for potential rejection back again. The market has just crossed this order block here, and this is a pure liquidity sweep that you can see. You might be able to re-enter again after the price action confirmation. 4 hour support, it's from the intraday. This is a bull market, and coming to this intraday support, if we look at 4063 is a very important, interesting area of value now at the moment for us to look for bullish entry. And because the market got a rejection from this higher price from the 15 minutes, the chances that the price might try to retest this 4063 level. And that's what I will be looking at next entry. If you look at this support, the market might here come back again to this support and could eventually retest. And if the price come back to retest this 4063, I will be looking at again buy entry from that zone, and which is possible to happen because there's rejection from this resistance here. So it was this breakdown that you can see. Was this a liquidity grab? It's now pushing back again in that area. So 2 dojis here from this order block. So there is a manipulation, and that manipulation can bring further bullish trading here in that area. pure manipulation. We're going to ready for another entry here in that area. 4065 is Friday's close. So if you look at the daily, the market has tested that daily support with this one single move. If you look at, and the price is still come back to 4063 level. If it drop down to 4063 or form a double bottom here, we can look at potential buying opportunity, because now I'm looking at 1 hour. If you look at this 1 hour market structure, this is still showing bullish price action here. And if you look at this impulse, the market now on a consolidation, that consolidation, if come back below for a break below, should be ultimately breaking back to the upside here. So current key support level at 4063. It might go for a little consolidation here. So you look at the smart money here. This is a clean manipulation, a strong breakdown to this, directly one single drop to this order block, and that is now a benchmark for this high and for this low here. So yeah, there is a possibility for an overextension back below. Which is also the 4 hour support. And this market, from the intraday, if you look at the 4 hour perspective, there's a 10 EMA below, 20 EMA above. And this market, once it gain enough liquidity, there is a possibility for a breakout. And that breakout might take that market well above here to the upside. So it might be gaining momentum here. We'll be looking for another entry once we see the market is prepared for potential and the bounce back to the upside. And today's high is here. This is today's high. We can target still today's high once the price retested the low, and it might potentially cross back to the upside from the weekly resistance. Now it is also possible the market to trend back down again. Do you think so? Because you need to look at the both directional bias before it gets in one direction. So looking at, if you look at the 1 hour price action, if this 1 hour candle closing as a red doji, for example, then the daily price action, so this is the daily low. Volatility is low. That's where the key here. Smaller volatility sometimes creates less trending market. So there are some impulse from this level here. So we are looking at 4065 Friday's close. Yeah, so there is a, if you look at this, this is potentially be a pure liquidity graph for moving possibly back to the upside. Because when you see that, let's say, guys, this is very important. If you look at an uptrending market and the market suddenly broken from that uptrend and slowly building that momentum, is basically a sign of going back again to the upside, because the market original trend is up. Normally the market will you can say that it won't change like that. The market will not change the trend abruptly like that. The market will change trend by creating a head and shoulder or double top with neckline retest or long consolidation, breakdown, retest, and then the market will change the trend. Sudden breakdown and slowly moving back up is a manipulation. So that's a preparation for the market potentially to remain in the direction of the trend, because when it dropped back below, all those buyers turn to seller, and there has been enough liquidity for this market to move back to the upside here. So therefore here we see the market a little choppy, but still the bias that the market is showing is back to the upside in that market. So you see lower time frame, smaller candlestick pattern forming to be potentially upside. And if the market breaks from this high here, you can look at 4077 or even breaking above. So looking at 30 minutes price action here, this is closing in 3 minutes time, because every time always look at the multiple time frame, and that potentially be closing as a doji. If this 30 minutes candle closing as a doji like that, a green candle followed by two 30 minutes dojis with long wick is basically bullish signal again, because depending on how, of course, this one is closing. If this one is closing as a leaving a long wick at the bottom, closing with a very narrow body, there is a buying pressure here. And the previous one also long wick. So back to back two long wick doji, though if it close back below is a different story, but if it close above, then the next one to push back the market upside. We'll be using the next trade again pending order after the market create enough structure. So the market structure here is showing possibly breaking back to the upside here in that market. And so there is a 30 minutes candle close. As we discussed, it's closed as a bullish doji, so which is showing possible trend move here. You guys ready for another entry? It created multiple manipulation here. So how do you take TP once you have done your analysis? Okay, so the TP, that means profit target, is I use mathematical risk reward. This is the best work for me rather than looking for resistance support, because if you set it TP based on resistance and support, you'll find a lot of struggle to maintain a bigger reward. So I use risk reward. I'm mainly concerned about the stop loss. And once I find the stop loss, I need 5 times or 3 times profit target, regardless of where the level is. So that way, over the long term, it remains profitable. So here's the next entry. We were looking to enter here as a buy stop order. The market is little, like you can see this pushing back again. The market has potentially to break here. Okay, so the current support on the 1 hour is 4065. The market has bounced back to the upside, and 30 minutes as well. We can see this is the current support level, and wait for the market to break from the structure, because that's how we need to find high probability entry. You can see this is the 1 minute complete bounce back to the upside. To enter the next trade, we want to see the market straight dropping here in that zone. Then we can look for buying as using the pending order. Or if it continues to rise up, then we will let it go up for how far it goes before we take the entry. Welcome. And in the meantime, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. So it's crossing that high here. There is a possible for breakout here. 4077 and above, there is a fair value gap. This is a bearish fair value gap, has not been tested. And once the market penetrate above, there's a potential for a stronger break back to the upside here. It has created a new level here. So if you look at the 15 minutes, this is the current 15 minutes support here. And 4070, every time the market is going back, we can see new level being created. Also, this is 10 EMA for both 5 minutes and 15 minutes. You might be able to find an entry if the market drop down to any of this, to retest this neckline here. This structure is completely broken back to the upside if you look at. So this is a resistance here, which is turning support. And if the market drop here back for a retest, can look for bullish entry back to the upside. So this is the current buy level that you will be looking at. For possible drop here, if the market drop to that level, you will be looking to go long with a tighter stop loss to around 60 pip, keeping the stop loss below all this low. TP target will be taking to the upside. Welcome. And in the meantime, if you haven't check out the website, you can find link below this video for all the updates that we are posting in the premium group. If you want to access all of them, there are a few spots to take on the mentorship. And this move that you can see on the 5 minutes, if you look at, that is where, if you look at this break below, was the manipulation here. And that's why the market now gain new momentum. If you look at, it has now fuel for bouncing again back here. So the manipulation is basically a sign of bigger move. The market is approaching the daily high, daily resistance. Potentially push that daily high here. what kind of market structure you can expect here to potentially have a breakout. Putting pressure on the daily high. There's a breakout, and it's maintaining that uptrend here. It's not coming for a pullback. We want to see an entry. It may potentially continue to rise back again to the upside. we are looking at a very strong bull market now, and you have to look at now a fresh perspective. This is a after this manipulation here, the market entirely broken back to the upside. So looking at the 4-hour price action, where lower time frame support, right, and there is a stronger breakout. If you look at the daily, here is the move on the daily that you can see, and with this daily bullish price action here that you can see, also the weekly resistance. And because it's a long-term bull market, good evening, what we can expect here, that the market potentially to push back to the upside, and it's a highly bullish now. So therefore the price action is entirely upside here in that market. Okay, so to look for an entry here. Now, as the market is moving back to the upside, we are now, this is the 4-hour price action. There is a entirely bounce back to the upside. And if you looked at the weekly Forex forecast, this is what I was discussing, that the market to potentially to bounce back in that zone. So you see there is interesting that the price has got back in that area. So bringing, always good ideas to review the past analysis will give you really a better understanding of the market. So if you remember, we had a meeting on I think on Sunday. We were discussing this move, So basically, this analysis was posted on Sunday, and I was getting quite a few feedback that everyone's saying that gold gonna be bearish. But this is what I looked at, and now the analysis that I post was bullish. So the reason I'm showing you guys, this is a great way to see the bigger picture in the market. So I'd highly encourage you to go back to this 24th November 2025 analysis that I posted on the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so, and then check out that analysis. And the market, in fact, created the same kind of structure here that you can see. So, and that's why the trade, both of them that I earlier opened, was bullish, because if you looked at, this is the level in the analysis that was to see the market to potentially bounce off that level, and the price was down to that level and got that rejection back above. So which is now maintaining that bullish market structure with this back-to-back two dojis here. Now the next entry, as some of you already discussed, that looking at key level of support on the lower time frame for an entry. The market is creating the same pattern here, and breaking below gonna be a good area that you can look for. So it's breaking from the structure here, and we might be able to find potential entry here now. I might go for an entry shortly after stronger break below. We want to see this 5 minutes candle is coming well below here. I'm getting for an ready for an entry with proper risk management. So make sure, guys, if we enter, then you do proper risk management. This is the current support level 4074. That expecting the price to potentially penetrate back below. This is a bearish fair value gap that you can see the market. The only thing that you need to look at is there is a rejection from an order block. So that might bring the market little lower here. And the 15 minutes candle close can give us potential entry opportunity here in that market. Breaking 4074 with this single move is where possibility for an entry opportunity here. So here we want to see enough reversal pattern. That means breaking enough below and then creating a structure for bouncing back up. Then we can look at entry. Then we can look at possible profit target at this level. If we can enter properly here from the right area, then we can target to 4091 level. So 1 hour candle close, also with a long wick. Can use a pending order if the market goes up to break this 1 hour resistance. We will be looking at entry. And here I'm going to use pending order. That means buy stop order above this high. If the market cross this high, keeping the stop loss below this low, and we can target to this 4091 level. So it's going to be a buy stop at 4081.44. Stop loss 51 pip only if the market bounce off that level. So place that buy stop here on gold. And So buy stop at 4081. It's not a market order, it's a pending order. Stop loss at 4075.94 and TP target at 4091.70. So placed a buy stop order. If the market breaks that high, we will be on the trade. Welcome to the live session, traders. I hope that you're enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. For a long time, we found the trend here, and this is a very tight stop loss area, expecting the market to potentially bounce off this level. So from if you look at the 1 hour market structure here, that you can see this is the 1 hour price action, and there is a bullish candle formation. They're expecting this price action also potentially go back and then to fill that long wick, though we see some kind of pullback, and it can turn to a potentially even a reversal depending on how the market is creating the structure. And so the market from the trend perspective is little upside here now, but it is always a good idea always is to trade with the trend until the market changes completely from an uptrend to a downtrend, because it is likely to remain always the market in the direction of the trend. So it might go for a sideway, the 1 hour. It's penetrated the support. So I'm going to look for re-entry here. There's a break of this false breakdown. So with the re-entry, the stop loss will be at 4073.18. Looking at re-entry, buy here, and this is the market order. So in this move, we will be targeting at 4090 level. So 4090.00. And so the previous one is minus 50 pip. So there is a consolidation here, and I see there is a possibility for bullish trend continuation. getting here the breakout, possibly to see the market trend continues. And if the market cross 4084, we will be bringing the stop loss at entry, but I will not be taking any partial profit. The key here, keep the winner running, keep the loser cut short as soon as you can, and then let the market do the job. There's consolidation here, and the volume dropped a little bit. That's what the market moving in a sideway, and from there is a potential for liquidity grab and then to have another move. With this 15 minutes candle close and also the 1 hour price action, do you ever take partials? Yes, I do take partial depending on the entry. Sometimes I do take partial, sometimes I don't. So if we see that the market has gone too far and we want to move the stop loss at entry, it's a big profit running and we don't want to keep everything on the market, we do take partial. More often I don't take, but sometimes I take, depends on the entry. So especially in a situation where there is a chance for rejection, that means in that case, rather than losing all of them, I take some. But in a chance where there is a high probability to hit the profit target, I do run all the position, the full position. So because it's good to see that, couple of, if you have 1 or 2 losing trade, that's fine, right? As long as you have bigger wins, is basically the way I look at is, this is a technique, right? This will change also how you look at the market. Okay, so when you see, let's say you have a 20k trading account, right, for example, or 50k trading account or 100k trading account. Now, rather than if you have, let's say, 1% risk and then suddenly you got a stop loss, it went to 19,800, right? Now you can put a meaning behind it differently, guys. This gonna change the way you look at, trust me. So you can change the meaning behind it. How do you change the meaning? Is rather than thinking that the market has, like, you lose a trade, just think that your capital is in the market. You just invest it as a business expense. And then the next trade will give you all back again. Maybe next trade or next 2 trades, that's fine. So if you look at the market, it's a sea of liquidity, right? Trillions of dollars rolling out, going up and down. So think that way. Rather than you think an individual trading account, think that you are part of $1 trillion market. You're just investing or giving some expenses, and that will come back again with the next trade. So that way, you are not creating a meaning that labels you that you probably had a losing trade. Rather, it's just a business expense and it's going to come back to you in the next trade. So that way, you can keep more of emotional resilience on your trade. So which is very important, to be emotional resilient as a trader. And that's the best way to become a profitable trader. So if you look at here, now on gold, you can see slowly trying to bounce back up. But this market still not showing a stronger momentum, and I'm waiting for a bigger momentum here. So you see now slowly building that momentum back to the upside. So our TP at 4090, and want to see the market manage to break that high, creating a new higher high. From the 4 hour, we can see that this is still a bull market. And from the lower time frame, there was a stronger liquidity gap here, bounce back to the upside, created a structure. Here is also many liquidity candlestick pattern. That's quite a few false breakdown, and the market finally closed as a bull candle. So expecting new higher high. That means crossing 4084 level and creating a new higher high. So once the market managed to break 4084 level, we'll bring the stop loss at entry, and either I will not be taking partial profit, but you can choose to take. It depends on you. I'll be running for the full TP. Okay, crossing that high here. Now, this is what I mentioned in our previous premium update. This week, the market is really, really moving, and that's what you need as a trader. The market is moving. So once the market is moving, we can see quite a few winning trades with proper directional bias. So the price has just crossed 4084. So I'm moving the stop loss at entry here. Now you can, as I mentioned, you can take partial profit if you don't want to lose the all. There might be rejection and come back to the entry. It can happen, or it can still continue to rise back up here. So it's a risk-free trade. I moved the stop loss at entry. Now, it's possible entirely the market to drop again to take us out of the trade, because it is also possible entirely to drop if there isn't enough volume. So looking at so the market actually experiencing comparatively low volume at the moment due to the in the beginning there was big move that we have seen during the Asian session, and it actually got a little bit of exhausted now at the moment because of the end of session and end of London session. So with the NY session, we could see that let's drop back below here. Either you can choose to re-enter, or you can keep running, or you can go break even. It's up to you, but let's see how the market is doing. Here is with this big doji from the 30 minutes that you can see, this is still possible for another bullish bounce. So here is the market drop again to this order block. If you look at, there was a consolidation, breakout, drop back down. It still can continue to rise. So if you are out with the trade, it's okay to enter again with the same stop loss and with the same risk management setup, smaller risk. The market still can go back to the 4090 level if there is a volume in the market. We got anyone? So the market trend actually very smaller period of time. If you look at So another 15 minutes bullish candle that you can see here, which is I think there is still possibility for an upside here. So here is the market. If you look at in that area, how can you say that we are trading every single day based on breakout structure? And all those trade, you guys see that every time we open the market, in fact, goes in the favor. So you can see the market, whenever most of our trade always goes in the favor. The only thing happen is that we need bigger win. Okay, so that's where we look at bigger win. Guys, trading means that you remain really very important emotional control as a trader. Okay, so there will be a lot of trade that you need to let go. Okay, letting go is very important as a trader. There will be a lot of trade that you need to let go. Okay, but the winner are the traders who can. I know. Thank you for that. So keep in mind that the winner in trading who can hold their nerve. There is a real trading here. Thank you. Now, if you look at here, what do you see? The market is, always keep in mind that the key here, your entry, keep the bias always in the direction. So if you are correct in terms of direction, whenever you trade, just ask yourself one important question. Was I directionally correct? Very important, especially the major direction. So if you ask yourself this question, that was I directionally correct? If the answer is yes, that means you are a superb trader, because entry you can take from any swing low or swing high, swing low from an uptrend, swing high from a downtrend. And then once you take the entry, keep your stop loss with the next swing low or swing high. Use the simple strategy, guys. Look, I'm a profitable trader. I don't need to gain anything from you. I'm telling you the actual trading strategy. Always in an uptrend, buy from the swing low, especially after a breakup structure, and then ask yourself, am I correct directionally? If you are correct directionally, you are good to go. That let the market to move. Okay, the difference between successful trader and the professional trader is that professional trader, like non-professional or amateur trader, consider each trade individually. Professional trader consider all trade as a bunch of trade. So for example, professional trader will consider 50 trades, for example, as one trade. So in one trade, like the candlestick pattern, if you look at the multiple time frame, in the monthly candle, there are 30 daily candle. In the daily candle, there are, in one daily candle, 6 4-hour candle, right? So take 50 trades and consider it as one trade. And if this one trade is a winner, then you are a profitable trader. You see, so 50 trades, are you winner on 50 trades? Yes, then you are a profitable trader. And profitable trader makes sure that each trade is winner. Each trade contains 50 single trade. You see how you can become profitable? So if you are taking each trade, that means you can make 100% win rate. How can you make 100% win rate? By considering 50 trades as one trade. Now, after 50 trades, if you are profitable, that winner, that means after 50 trades, you are winner or your account is growing. That means if you include that 50 trades into one trade, that's a winning trade. And then another 50 trade is winner, profitable, that means another win. And then another 50 trades is up together, then it's another win. So that means each single trade you are winning and you are 100% winner as a trader. You see? And if you look at the non-professional trader, they look at each single trade. That's not gonna make you profitable at all. So once you get that point, you are always profitable. So you can maintain that 100% win rate by considering 50 trades as one trade. And for those who are looking, I keep my trading account open to follow for the premium members who are in the academy. If you guys are following my account, for those who are in the premium group, already in the chat, I am sharing all the P&Ls and everything. See the statistics or the trading pattern that I trade, right? Go back to the last week's and a couple of weeks, 1 month's trading pattern that I traded, and you see how I traded. Small win, big win, small loss, big win, small loss, big win. And at the end of the week, boom, that's a growth, right? This is real trading. No one gonna tell you guys. So make sure that you take notes and then keep yourself up as a trader so that you can become a consistently profitable trader. It's 2026, guys, nearly there, right? And let's gain financial freedom. Yes. Okay, so it's 2026 and let's gain that financial freedom. Am I still? No, the trade that you have open, I have got break even. This one I'm out with that break even. Okay, so I haven't re-enter again. Welcome. Has anyone in the trade? It took me out here. It's breaking back below again. It may potentially go back to 4090 or above as the market started to become bullish. the market does this, there is again breakout structure here. So looking at, if you look at the 4 hour again, there is a very sharp breakout. I'm deleting all of these levels to see the fresh perspective in the market again, looking at the new outlook. So if you look at here, this is the 4 hour price action that you can see. And in this 4 hour price action, what you see, the market, as soon as the price open in this support level, there is a stronger breakout, and that has made the market to potentially remain bullish. Now you can see that 1 hour price action, the price has crossed this high and then has got rejection again back below. This is the 1 hour support. Thank you. And currently there is another breakout structure here. So breakout structure is the secret to trade big. You'll see the market will make that over and over again. You see that there is a strong breakout and there is a sudden drop again. So this kind of drop is where the best way to trade. So if you look at this 1 hour high, the price has crossed this level, and then if you look at that straight drop again back below to the support. So that's a complete breakout structure again from this high. There's a complete penetration back below. If you look at from this high, it has entirely dropped down to this support here again. And that's a pure liquidity grab. It's a good zone that you might be able to find an entry. But before that, you want to see that the price actually really creating a bearish or bullish move. So this is the, look at the 15 minutes price action. It has tested the lower part of this zone here, and huge liquidity sweep here. And that's we can look for possible entry opportunity, though there is a stronger breakdown. I'm preparing for a possible entry in that area. It's the market to pull back again. So there's a bearish engulfer. This might be entirely you see there is one liquidity gap here, bounce back, created an overextension. There's another liquidity gap straight, has broken all this low here. So later on entry, if we go for an entry here, if it come for a double bottom here, we can look for bullish entry. Okay, so if the market drop for this potential retest of this level, form a double bottom, we can look at entry from this support to the upside. Or we can use the pending order. If the market drop back below from this, that we can see some rejection, then we can use this high here for the pending order, keeping stop loss below this low and taking that move back to the upside. So like to see the market has managed to drop well below here, forming double bottom. So if you look at the 4 hour here, there is a back-to-back two from this level. This is the third candle that is showing bullish, and the possibility here that the market to go back up to high here, it might even go back to 4100 if the market shows enough confirmation here in that market. So there is a break below here after the crossover of 10 and 20 EMA. So I'm going to use a pending order here, as we discussed. Not above this, you want to take little lower here, because if the market drop, if the market bounce, we can expect potential rejection again back to the upside here in that market. And we're using the pending order above this high. which is a buy stop order, taking the profit target to the high. It's going to be buy stop if the market goes up. At 4078.76. So it can break this support and continue to drop, which is very possible to happen. There's an entirely a breakup support here that you can see. So place the pending order. If the market created this one as a false breakdown, we could see that potentially to reverse back again to the long-term resistance line here. And if you look at this is welcome. And here is, if you look at the support, that's the market has created that move in that area. Hope that you guys can hear me. So it's a buy stop on gold, expecting it to break that and then to bounce back to the upside here. We might get a trigger here. In the meantime, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. So here with this buy stop, the stop loss below, I'll put little lower here so that you can cover this week here. 4073.57. I'm going to update in the premium group. So still not triggered. If the market maintain this market structure back above here, we can look to see the price to go up here. Now this is the 4-hour market structure, which is showing that potentially the price to remain, the price action showing the price to bounce back up here, remaining bullish. So this is quite overextended below here. So with this long wick, if you look at, this is a big pin bar here in that area. And with this pin bar, the market may, if you look at, this is a complete break of support, right? So if this is a manipulation, we could see that all those green candle forming going back up here. And again, if the market successfully crossed 4085, we'll move the stop loss at entry if the market triggers back here in that direction. Subscribe. Thank you very much. So you can check your email, Jillian. Make sure you check your email for all the links, as well as for the website course checkout. Okay, so we have got triggered here. We got triggered. Trade is active. Boom, we are on. Okay, so we got that trade now active. I'm looking at now potentially to break that high. So the market has got really good liquidity in this move. So I'm really hopeful to see the market to potentially to bounce back to the upside here. Yes, there is a, if you look at this level here, there is a stronger liquidity sweep here in that area, and that is what makes it important for the market to move, because there is a one break below. So if you look at this one single breakdown followed by, we have seen that another breakdown. So this is what I was talking about, that if the market breaks for the second time here, so that's a two-step liquidity grab. Now the major trend here is bullish, so this two-step liquidity grab might give the market stronger momentum here, and that's what we're expecting to go back up again to the direction of the major trend. Well, I'm expecting to bounce here. Like if you look at the 5 minutes, what do you see here? That this is starting of this move, right? All those red candle. Now I want to see that all those green candle crossing that high, that can give new momentum here in that market. Okay, so now this price section that you can see here. Let's look at where the market is potentially be heading. Right, so there is a rejection, and If the market is not being able to break that high, that means there is a very low volume in the market, and in that case there might be the daily high has reached, and throughout the session the market might range depending on what now we could see. This break below here is also support test, expecting new higher high. It's really good. So from here, if the market crossed this high here, that will be a sign of new higher high, and we would like to see that breaking that back to the upside. Okay, so getting some rejection from this lower price, which is as we expected that the market to potentially reverse back here to the upside in that area. And that break, they're looking at here potentially to create a new higher high. So we are on the profit zone, have entered in the profit zone, looking at that market to show us an upside bias here. Okay, so let's run on the music here a little bit. Okay, so at entry now and looking at break back to the upside. In the meantime, guys, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Probably you are following me long time but forgot to do that, so you can just pop that button. That will give you a lot of information from this channel here. This channel is very old and I had a lot of content here that can change the you look at the market. This one channel is enough for you to become consistently profitable trader if you give enough time and dedication to improve your trading, because everything here that you guys see is based on observation and long back testing proven system that I trade every single day with our members in the academy, all of them together. And my trade is being also replicated to almost many members in the academy, because I'm a real trader and I really don't hesitate to show my trades that are how I trade. I don't look to win all the trade, but I take massive win that brings everything back with proper risk management. Okay, so there's a doji. The market has just crossed that high, that level. Now, what we are looking at here, the price to potentially break that high, boom, going back to the next flight to the upside. So there's an inverted head and shoulder. In fact, the market is showing up to be potentially upside here. What happened to gold? Nothing happened. It's just false breakdown. And that's understanding false breakout or breakdown is a big advantage as a trader. Is in fact, trading false breakout is where you can take the bigger move, because when there's a false breakout, it's a preparation for bigger move in the market. So looking at this 15 minutes close coming, the first 15 minutes of this 1 hour candle, and expecting it to cross that high, breaking 4092 level. So it created a swing high here. Now, if the market managed to break this high, entirely breaking above, we can move the stop loss at entry to make the trade risk-free. So it's having little lower volume again, and so if we look at this 30 minutes price action that you can see from this support level, as so far in this 30 minutes price action after the previous sessions big red candle with test of this both sides, the current 30 minutes price action has shown so far bullish, and again you can see the market has dropped for a deeper pullback here. It's not being able to break that high. So if we look at the 1 hour, so nearing to our entries, nearing to the support level, and if you look at here, you can see this is a now on a support level, and what we are expecting here that from this support level for the price to again create a new impulse back to the upside. You want to see that volume is back from the daily. If we look at so far, the market structure has shown significant bullish. Only thing is that if you look at the weekly, bullish, monthly also bullish price action here. So from the multiple time frame, if you look at the 15 minutes price action here, there's a consolidation here, and that 15 minutes structure that I can see and you guys can see here is basically a bullish market structure so far, and that kind of structure eventually should be breaking to the upside. We have seen enough liquidity gap here as well, but if it is not enough for the market to move, that's where you see the price basically break this key support level. So drop the sound for the music, and looking forward to see the market to break this swing high. current level that you want to see, 4083. But here we're going to see another test of this support. It's a low volume. Got rejection immediately. So still got out of the trade and then got rejection immediately. It's double bottom on the 5 minutes, and it's entirely broken that support, guys. So this is where market has broken that low entirely. Now here it tested the lower shadow, the market experiencing comparatively lower volume, and I'm looking to see the market to show up further trend. See, there is an extended sideways market here now, and because if you look at the daily, the market already so far from the support has got rejection, and the trend is still bullish, so I'm still upside here. We see there is a sideways market after this move, and so the price is rejecting this support here. Yeah, there's no volume yet. There was volume earlier, but it drops. So it drops, and it might come back again with the, if we look at the, so there is news coming tomorrow, and we'll see that there will be volume coming back again, because of the, this week was very important as because of the last week of the month. So for some period we see sideways market at the moment. Can you stay in the trade? No, I'm not. So we will be looking for, we'll be waiting especially for the break of structure again. So if you look at the 1 hour here, the market has made very stronger bounce. Now it's currently moving in a sideways. So here is looking at that level, potentially to break further below, and This is still bull market, 4-hour candle closing in 31 minutes. So if the market 1 hour hasn't showing down to 4030, so there is now looking at the, now what we need to look at here, guys, is the 4-hour level. So let's draw that one. The 10 EMA is here, 20 EMA is here. So before this candle close, in the next 30 minutes, if the market drop down below, that's gonna be a bullish entry opportunity. It's still a bull market, just penetrating the support, which is a part of trading like that. The market does this, got back again, grab liquidity and keep bouncing off that level. So I'm looking at now, if you look at here, it is creating series of lower high. And with this series of lower high, at any point you could see that bouncing back again. Okay, so until the volume come back, we will just keep watching in that area for a stronger rejection back above, and then we can re-enter any trade coming along the way. In the meantime, guys, we are almost nearing to the end of this session, and it was a great session with all of you guys. And make sure that you take it easy, always keep the risk low, and the risk management is the secret of becoming profitable. We see there is a break completely below, so the 4-hour support the market is approaching before the candle close. There might be, if you look at the breaks low, and then can bounce back to the upside. This is where the market now grabbing liquidity for potential breakout. Thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again with another update coming. I will be coming on live again tomorrow twice. And until that, stay well, stay happy. We'll see you there trading.